Continuing from the previous episode 2245. In the dark passage, the blue-haired Buddha lion was extremely fast. After a short rest, he escaped from the underground passage of the palace and brought the two to a dark underground space. Here are the bones, and a suffocating evil force emerges everywhere. What is the difference between this situation and hell? In the center of the evil prison, in a cage constructed of 10 golden Buddha pillars, a pale woman sat in the cage. Countless evil lights are suspended in this world, and the terrifying power that invades the mind ripples out. The evil fluctuations contained in it make Xiaoyan's scalp feel a little numb now. That guy is the leader of this prison. Red King rank, the controller of the pure heart, Bai Wushuang. There is an isolation of the Buddhist enchantment here, so I don't have to worry about being discovered, but it's not suitable for me to stay here for a long time. I have to go back. As soon as the voice fell, the blue-haired Buddha lion put the two down, and went straight back to the original path, because once he stayed for too long, the Buddha's power grand event would disturb Bai Wushuang. Second brother, why don't we use holy flame to burn this place to the ground? Under the Jilin Valley Palace, there is a Buddhist pillar passageway that separates the power of the enchantment, and the two have not been discovered by the evil guys in the prison for a while, but once they break through the Buddhist scripture's enchantment passage in front of them, I am afraid that the two will be besieged by countless evil creatures. Although the intensity of the evil power here is far less than that of the demon suppression prison, it should not be underestimated, not to mention the existence of the pure heart controller. This kind of thing is a heavenly threat to Sheng Yan, so Xiaoyan dare not dare to. Adventure. The thief must be captured first, and the king must be captured. The evil leader must be strangled here, and the rest is naturally nothing to be afraid of. And I'm curious, why is this guy able to make the blue-haired Buddha lion of the double reincarnation helpless? It shouldn't be that simple. I'll go out and try first, you wait here, don't act rashly without my order. After Xiaoyan finished speaking, he bent down and turned into a shadow, slightly passed through the passage barrier, and entered the evil prison. Just after leaving the enchantment of the Buddha's light passage and entering the evil prison, there was a sticky asterisk stench, like the rotten smell emitted by piles of corpses, which was disgusting. Someone is here, little guys, welcome new friends. Xiaoyan hadn't approached Shigan Fomang prison yet, when the evil woman with 4 gods and no masters suddenly showed a frantic smile, and smiled slowly. This guy's perception is too sharp. Guru. When Xiaoyan heard the words, his scalp shook violently, and endless glass-colored flames swept out, and the evil dark tide that rushed towards him instantly drowned in it. Holy flame? At this moment, seeing Xiaoyan's actions, the evil woman said hesitantly. At the same time, a glass-colored pierced sun and a white light group slammed together viciously, and the terrifying power fluctuations directly tore the evil prison, with an indescribable wave of destruction, rushing towards on the dark soil below. Shabu shabu. 2 energies, one pure as water and the other sacred and hot, slammed into the soil of the evil prison together. A terrifying humming sound resounded through the sky, a sound of mourning emerged, and the two below were attacked forcibly. A huge vortex of tens of thousands of feet was blasted out. The whirlpool slowly turned, like a black hole that devoured all things. The glass-colored flames and pure white energy were entangled continuously. Even as time passed, Xiaoyan's sacred and hot glass-colored flames quietly dissipated away. Looking at its appearance, it seems that the power of his holy flame has been invaded and assimilated by the power of this pure heart. What a terrifying holy flame! The woman in white under the 10 Fingers Buddha prison looked at Xiaoyan's figure below, and there was a deep sense of surprise in her eyes. It seemed that the holy flame on this guy had never been seen before. The pure heart of this guy should not be underestimated. Xiaoyan's eyes also flickered, and then he stared at the latter slightly. Breaking into the evil prison with your quasi-reincarnation strength, you are really the most stupid person among the holy flame controllers I have ever seen. But this time, I will take the place of the aliens and completely extinguish your holy flames. The body of the witch in white slowly returned, and in her clear eyes, countless white lights emerged like a tide, and the repressive force was especially tyrannical. Pure evil finger. On the witch in white, a hoarse voice slanted out with full of anger, pointed out with one finger, and then the whole body of white light quietly escaped the restraint of the 10-finger Buddha prison and burst out. Crack, click. Hearing Bai Wushwang's words, countless evil forces surged in the entire evil prison, and Xiao Yan's heart became awe-inspiring. Crash! Bai Wushwang pointed a finger, and the energy in the entire evil prison suddenly gathered together, and a seed of light like a white heart slowly flickered under the shroud of a ray. Among the white seeds, there is a bright white rune, which looks very strange, and the power contained in it actually makes the power of holy flame really move. Reincarnation. Seeing this, Xiao Yan slowly turned the glass-colored flame in his body, and a scorching fire wheel emerged. Peefed. The moment the two collided, there was no appalling explosion sound, but Xiao Yan's glass-colored flame trembled slightly under the attack of the white heart, and the countless holy flames contained in it actually became weaker. Pure heart, it really lives up to its reputation. Xiao Yan frowned, but he did not dare to use his holy flame with all his strength. Other forces on his body emerged and slowly faced the other side. Leave it here completely. White pure power whizzed away. Bai Wushwang's face gushed out, bursts of violent colors, and then stepped out. Invisible power spread out. It turned out to be 10 shocking Buddha pillars buzzing, as if at any time will fall apart completely. Bai Wushwang's voice fell in the entire evil prison. A pool of milky white liquid poured out from the prison cage, and then the whole space became quiet, and countless weak evil shadows did not emit any sound. The sound of the sound was completely destroyed by this power. Even the glazed flames around Xiao Yan's body erupted with a deep chill, and countless flames were forced back by this power. Dragon Claw. The glass-colored flames instantly retracted back into his body, and the endless cyan dragon scales, accompanied by an extremely tyrannical force, collided with those milky white energies. Boom! This time, the two attacks are on the verge of contact, and the entire evil prison trembles violently, as if it will be completely shattered at any time. The terrifying energy storm raged out, the wind was blowing, the void was distorted, and the entire space was in chaos. Accompanied by this deafening, terrifying fluctuation, the powerful evil voices in the evil prison, the breath directly became dying, and the body quickly fled, seemingly extremely afraid. The power contained in the power of milky white purity is the divine power of the holy flame, but what Xiao Yan did not expect is that this power not only restrains the holy flame, but even these evil creatures are suppressed to death. At this moment, the whole place is dead silent. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2246. Boom! The power of the dragon god's claws did not destroy the power of milky white purity, but after a fight, the two became quiet at the same time. The black hole vortex rages in the evil prison, where the power of the pure heart spreads. Every time the terrifying pure power sweeps over the evil creature does not have any recruitment, the entire body is instantly pierced, and the breath of life is completely swallowed up by it. Even some evil creatures with strength comparable to the reincarnation level have no resistance, they are completely cut in half, and the sounds of pain and mourning come and go. Some of these weak and evil creatures, directly under this pure power, turned into blood mist bubbles and returned to dust. Cunning guy! Looking at the blue dragon scales on Xiao Yan's body, a heavy breath emerged, the white Wushuang beautiful eyes in the 10 fingers Buddha prison flickered, and a touch of extreme anger slanted out, faintly showing signs of shattering the 10 fingers Buddha prison. You and I are both human beings, why bother to help the tyrants? Xiao Yan shook his head, the power of dominance in his body emerged, and there was a solemn aura of the annihilation of all things lingering on his fist. He raised his head and said to Bai Wushwang, "This guy is a great enemy, without the blessing of the ancient ruler, and there is no plan to win." Humanity? You told me about humans. Listening to Xiao Yan's understated voice, Bai Wushwang's originally slightly angry face suddenly became extremely vicious, with a look of contempt on his face, as if he heard a big joke, and looked at Xiao Yan with a grim face. Xiao Yan quietly stood in the middle of the evil prison. It seems that judging from the appearance of this guy, I'm afraid there is something else hidden? I was born on a barren continent under the human world. My family has declined. I have been bullied since I was born, and even my sister was humiliated and died in order to protect me. Since that time, I have sworn that I must let these beasts pay their debts with blood, and then by chance, I was helped by the evil gods of the evil race from outside the realm, which allowed me to cultivate a pure heart, so that I could take revenge. Originally, I never cared about the distinction between good and evil. I believed that everything in the world has its own set number, but where is the way of heaven? Some people are born to stand on the highest point, but why are we born to be bullied because of it? Those people, they deserve to die for their sins. You keep talking to me about human beings? When I was tormented and bullied, how could humans ever help me? The evil God has helped me, and I have sworn by my soul that I will be loyal to the death. Bai Wuxiang became more and more excited. On the chest above the delicate body, a pure heart without any impurities was beating violently. Every beat would make the holy flame in Xiaoyan's body extremely uneasy. The pure heart is enough to suppress and seal the power of Saint Flame. Although the pure heart of Bai Wuxiang is not enough to completely suppress the things on Xiaoyan, Xiaoyan does not dare to try it. After all, this kind of thing cannot be opened. Half a joke. End it completely. Today's battle is only life and death. As he spoke, Bai Wuxiang's pure white hands slowly lifted, dragging the pure heart like a heart, and the endless purification halo spread like a tide of energy. Something's wrong. The breath in this guy's body. Although Xiaoyan said that his eyelids were shaking violently, his keen soul power could smell a terrifying power that even his soul trembled from under the now hideous white and frostless robe. Bai Wuxiang, calm down. That so-called evil asterisk is just taking advantage of you. Look at your body for yourself. It's already rotten. Once you release your pure heart, you will be destroyed. In the final analysis, you are just a chess piece of the evil clan outside the realm. However, Xiaoyan did not make any resistance. His pupils shrank slightly, his soul power converged into a sound, and he spoke to roar. Cece. When Bai Wuxiang used her pure heart, the traces of dark lines under her body crawled out like black worms, densely filling her icy clean and jade skin, revealing an extremely weak morbid state throughout her body. How is it possible? At this moment, Bai Wuxiang was slightly shaken by Xiaoyan's voice containing the power of his soul, and he returned to a lot of normal. There was a strong pain on his face, and he felt the dark bugs on his body, and he was shocked and pale for a while. In your body, countless evil patterns have already been planted. Once you use up the pure heart, you will also completely fall into this world. The so-called evil gods are just using you to create a pure heart for them. And according to my guess, the destruction of your family should be the result of the evil clan outside the realm. Think about it. Xiaoyan stared at the black bugs, and a creepy aura emerged, but he still explained to Bai Wuxiang. Put puff puff. As Xiaoyan's voice fell, Wuxiang Bai clearly discovered that the pure heart that appeared in his chest had already reached the point where the arrow had no choice but to strike. And those dark reptiles on the body stared at him extremely greedily, and once the pure heart left the body, they devoured their body without hesitation. Listening to Xiaoyan's words, Bai Wuxiang's mind couldn't help but think of what happened at the beginning. After Shun breathed, he couldn't help feeling that the family affairs were probably deliberately done by the evil gods. The seeds of hatred took root and sprouted. Fortunately, after cultivating a pure heart, they completely turned into the central chess piece in the hands of the evil god. Otherwise, why would you be targeted by the evil god? He was also taught the method by the evil god? It all seems too coincidental. Don't move. I will use the power of holy flame to completely expel the evil lines in your body. There is still a chance to do so. After a while, Xiaoyan opened his mouth in a deep voice, and a glass-colored flame appeared on his body, flying directly towards the 10 Fingers Buddha prison. Why are you helping me? I have a pure heart, and I can suppress your holy flame seal, so aren't you afraid that I will fight back when I die? Bai Wuxiang looked at Xiaoyan in a daze. He was already a dying person, but this guy treated him like this. It seems that I saw something long lost from this guy. Brave, responsible, and fearless. I'm afraid, but it's because of fear that I need to do it. I can't stop your situation from happening, but this vast world will be guarded by me in the future. Boom! As he spoke, the dragon *** claws were displayed, and the 10-fingered Buddha pillar was torn apart by the cracks. At the same time, the glazed holy flame turned into a shadow of an elk and rode on Xiaoyan, facing Bai Wuxiang. Go! The gentle power made the corners of Bai Wuxiang's eyes feel the slightest. Perhaps, this is the great world I want to see. Feeling Xiaoyan's serious look so close at hand, Bai Wushwang's handsome face suddenly showed a bright smile. Wang buzzing, the pure heart rose up, and in the blink of an eye, Xiaoyan's body was repelled by thousands of meters, and the energy in the entire evil prison also swelled violently, and countless evil forces rushed to gather around the pure heart. Once the pure heart disappears, Bai Wushwang's body and soul will be completely swallowed by these evil creatures. I've done so many wrong things, this time I'll make up for it a little bit. Bai Wushuang smiled, slender jade hands stretched out and gently squeezed the pure heart, and a pure aura that purifies all things emerged. In an instant, the power of the evil creatures that had already been dormant beside Wushuang Bai was escaping as fast as they could. It's a pity that it's too late, and all that awaits them is destruction. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2247. The pure heart is something that was researched by the evil race from outside the territory to deal with the holy flame. Its formation is formed by human women through special power, but how to choose human women, how to form a pure heart, that is a high-level secret belonging to foreign evil races, even in the entire Great Thousand World, few people know about it. Boom! Bai Wushuang was determined to die, and the pure heart completely ignited and exploded, and the pure force unscrupulously impacted the countless evil forces in the surrounding evil prisons. Seeing that he disappeared like this, he wanted to use his last strength to purify this prison. The evil figures headed by several reincarnation-level leaders in the evil prison saw that the target of this pure heart was not Xiaoyan, but this filthy evil prison, and a rare fear emerged from the black mist. The power of the pure heart not only has a devastating blow to the holy flame, but also to them. Because that is pure power, not something that evil forces can resist. Bang bang bang! The pure heart exploded, and countless black mists shattered and opened, and a steady stream of evil creatures were easily destroyed under this power, both physical and spiritual, and no one could escape. Senior righteousness. Miserable screams and mourning filled this place, and Xiaoyan's pupils were also filled with intense heat as he cupped his hands and said. Xiaoyan couldn't stop this kind of thing, so he could only respectfully stay aside and wait for these things to happen. I know your good intentions, but the old man has passed away, and it is meaningless for me to remain in the world. After doing all this and purifying this evil prison, Bai Wushwang's body suddenly shattered a little bit. Obviously, she had sensed Xiaoyan's idea of trying to save her, but she directly refused. He is already a sinner in the vast world. Even if he lives in the world, it is just a joke. It is better to use all his strength and leave something behind for his back, which can be regarded as a kind of repentance. I have done too many wrong things in my life. At the last moment of my life, I hope I can make up for it. These are some of my records about the pure heart. There are many reincarnation perceptions in them. Maybe it can help you now. As soon as the voice fell, Bai Wushwang's delicate body trembled abruptly, soaring into the sky completely, blooming like fireworks. Senior, go well. Xiaoyan stretched out his hand to take the ball of pure light, then bowed slightly, and respectfully opened his mouth to the latter. This great gift from Bai Wushuang is not unheard of. The secrets of the pure heart, and even some insights into reincarnation, are all supreme things that the world is moved by. Whoa! With Bai Wushuang being so righteous, all the evil forces in the entire evil prison disappeared, finally revealing the true face of the void here. Xiaoyan is entrenched in the sky, and when he looks around, there are actually rolling cities below. Obviously, this place was a very prosperous place countless years ago, but unfortunately it was invaded by foreign evil tribes. In the center of the city, there is an extremely magnificent and solemn mansion. Wherever you want to go is the storage place for treasures such as meteorites, stars and iron, but now Xiaoyan is naturally not in a hurry. Second brother, are you all right? Xiao Yi has been staying in the passage of Buddhist scriptures. After realizing that the evil power gradually disappearing in the void here is weird, she stepped away from the enchantment passage and hurried over, only to find that the evil power in the void has disappeared. It was so clean, even the extremely pure light in Xiaoyan's hand was dazzling. It's alright. Everything here is settled. The rest, I'll talk about it when I wake up. Wait until I step into reincarnation. Xiaoyan nodded heavily, and immediately sat in the void, urging his soul power to investigate the secret of this pure light group. The pure heart is nourished by women with yin physique in the great thousand worlds. Women must have a clean body, and only those who were born in the yin period can be nourished with the power of evil patterns of foreign evil races. It took hundreds of years to cultivate a pure heart. The pure heart is accompanied by its warm cultivator, its power is greatly increased, and the pure heart can also be taken out, but the power is greatly reduced. Now, according to the records of the evil races outside the realm, they have cultivated all the corresponding pure hearts that are able to resist the top 5 in the holy flame list in the great thousand worlds. As for the more advanced ones, even they are helpless. In the light group, there were endless explanations about the restraint of holy flame and the pure heart. Xiao Yan's soul power invaded. He carefully felt this majestic information and kept this information firmly in his mind. It seems that the second brother should be settled. Well, I hope the second brother can take this opportunity to step into reincarnation. Xiaoyi's whole body was filled with brown flames, which instantly enveloped the void here, protecting Xiao Yan. She was also caught in some kind of extremely mysterious retreat, protecting Xiao Yan. Reincarnation, mysterious and mysterious. After sensing the pure heart, the pure light group actually slowly sank into Xiao Yan's body, and a bright breath entered the body, followed by a pain that went deep into the bone marrow. With the appearance of such a bizarre scene, Xiao Yan's sanity suddenly crossed the long river of time and space and entered a certain mysterious state. In the dark void, bursts of mourning and roaring continued to come out, but no matter how loud the sound was, no one responded after a long time, and the master of the voice had also weakened his consciousness, and was about to faint when he passed out. But in front of him there are scenes that emerge. Reincarnation, the first life. Xiao family Xiao Yan, break off the marriage, Nalan Yanren, 30 years in Hedong and 3 years in Hexi, don't bully the poor young. Teacher, this disciple has avenged Shui Ren for you. In the reincarnation of a lifetime, Xiao Yan, whose strength was exploited, lay weakly in the darkness, looking at the thin black figure in the picture. In order to maintain the dignity of his family, he started to cultivate from an unknown person, and he has overcome countless hardships along the way, surpassing and defeating the arrogant daughter of the cloud Lanzong little by little. Reincarnation, the second world. A azure blue plane. Today's Xiao Yan has forgotten his real name, but his intuition tells Xiao Yan that his previous life should have come from here. In the azure blue plane, there are countless scenes of prosperity and strength, but those are far away from me. Reincarnation, the third world. Xiao Yan in this life has become an ordinary person, not as outstanding and glorious as in the previous 2 lives, but was framed by others and died tragically in a foreign land. The reincarnation of one life after another seems to be simple, but only Xiao Yan himself knows that that kind of reincarnation is by no means a simple reincarnation, but one that he has personally experienced. Glory, power, money, beauty, ending, calculations. The 7 emotions and 6 desires in the human world, greed, hatred and hatred, attacked Xiao Yan's weak body like chains after chains. The picture was blurry, and he was plunged into darkness, like the realm of primordial chaos, and some of the power in Xiao Yan's body surged like an ancient source. Rebirth, or fall. Even if I break through countless reincarnations, in this life, I just want to protect the people I cherish, and this great world that is not so beautiful. A melodious voice came out, and suddenly in this world, a mysterious force gathered towards Xiao Yan's body from all directions. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2248. In the evil prison, following Xiao Yan's actions, there is an ancient and vast fluctuation between heaven and earth. That kind of power is like the power of reincarnation scattered everywhere since the beginning of the world, but now it is converging under Xiao Yan's control. Here, a little bit is injected into the body and watched. It is extremely mysterious. At this time, Xiao Yan, the glazed flames around his body were looming, and more solid and powerful energy accumulated in the body, like an active volcano that would erupt completely at any time. This situation has been going on for more than a month. Unfortunately, during this period, Xiao Yan has been relying on the power left by Bai Wushuang, closing his eyes to perceive the reincarnation. His body has not moved or changed, but the power in his body has been turned upside down. Variety. Pure heart is the nemesis of Saint Flame, But Xiao Yan, as the controller of Saint Flame, can't control the latter anyway, because the two forces are in constant conflict. Knowing this kind of thing, just now gave Xiao Yan a good fortune. Blue-haired Buddha Lion, what's going on with my second brother? In the quiet evil prison space, Xiao Yi frowned, and then looked at Xiao Yan, who was sitting cross-legged above the void in the distance. At this time, Xiao Yan had a very subtle aura lingering around her body, but Xiao Yi was obsessed with it. Fog Shui, after a month of murmuring, I couldn't figure out what was going on. It's not good to go to disturb Xiao Yan, otherwise, it will cause trouble. Do not know. However, the power gushing out of this world at this time is a little weird, and I can't say the specific reason. That kind of power and reincarnation have the same effect. Qingmao Buddha Lion also knew little about this. During the month of January, the green-haired Buddha Lion was worried about the safety of the two of them, so he twisted his body and came down to investigate, but when he saw that all the evil creatures in this evil prison had disappeared completely, he was surprised. Even Xiao, the appearance of Yan is even more surprising. Now Xiao Yi and Qingmao Buddha Lion have become extremely friendly. The two are waiting here together. Since the evil prison here has been completely lifted, when the three treasures that Xiao Yan needs are given to the latter, he can completely escape from here. Boom! Just at the moment when the two were puzzled, the mysterious energy in the entire space actually gathered towards Xiao Yan, and around Xiao Yan, a circle of reincarnation wrinkles of the color of glass appeared, and the reincarnation pattern was like tree rings. Profound, but the power contained in it is like the oldest power in the world. Such a terrifying power of reincarnation. What is going on here? The green-haired Buddha Lion has a serious look on his face. This level of reincarnation power is not like mere reincarnation, and the terrifying power contained in reincarnation actually makes his scalp feel numb. Whoa! Xiao Yan's situation did not last long. The power in his entire body shrank immediately, his eyes were extremely deep, and he smiled lightly. Hee, the blue-haired Buddha Lion, fortunately not humiliated. A hearty laughter emerged, and Xiao Yan, who was sitting quietly like a stone statue, suddenly opened his eyes, got up, and walked towards the ladder. Underneath, there is a majestic and terrifying power hidden. How is this going? And your power? The voice of the green-haired Buddha Lion is full of curiosity. It seems that this guy's strength is a little unpredictable. Thanks to the gift of the senior here, my current strength, to be precise, should have almost crossed a calamity of reincarnation here. It's a pity. Xiao Yan pretended to laugh mysteriously, and there was actually a lot of regret in his speech. Have you reached the peak of reincarnation? You actually went directly from the quasi-reincarnation to the peak of reincarnation? After Xiao Yan finished speaking, Qingmao Shi and Xiao Yi looked at each other at the same time and exclaimed. Because I didn't understand reincarnation before, the power of holy flames that was left in my body accumulated. Now that I understand reincarnation, those forces were released and absorbed by me, which just helped me break through to the peak of reincarnation. Xiao Yan scratched his head and said with a smile. There was a hint of relief in his voice. Reincarnation-level powerhouses are powerful figures in the great world. Countless powerhouses have spent their entire lives trapped in the 8-star Dushan perfection level and the quasi-reincarnation level. It can be seen how much it takes to take this small step. Difficult. As for Xiao Yan's reincarnation, he has already stepped through several lifetimes and found his own way of reincarnation. But Xiao Yan also knows that if the road to reincarnation hadn't been determined by his resolve, he would have been drowned in the dark tide. That kind of power, enough to smash yourself to pieces. The two of you are really monsters. Qingmao Buddha Lion shook his head, obviously being hit. The strength and talent of Xiao Yan and Xiao Yi, even it was a sigh of relief. Senior is very complimented. By the way, since the matter is over, what we need. Xiao Yan shook his head, and then spoke directly to the green-haired Buddha Lion. After all, time is short, so naturally it cannot be wasted like this. According to my records, meteorite iron does have it, but its storage location is too long ago, and I can't remember it clearly. In addition, this area has been invaded by evil forces, so I'm not sure. Go down and have a look, and pick out the other two treasures by the way. It's in the Manjusri temple below. The green-haired Buddha Lion nodded slightly, and then pointed out a path for Xiao Yan and the two, but he did not show any signs of moving. Peefed! As soon as the sound fell, the blue-haired Buddha Lion roared, and a flash of lightning at the corner of his mouth like a bright moon shone down with a dazzling light. The light became more and more intense, and finally formed an ancient key of light gently and merged into the ancient palace gate below. There is an ancient palace in the middle of the city among the many cities below. When the blue-haired Buddha lion moved like this, the entire palace trembled slightly, and ripples of energy spread out. Go! Seeing this, Xiao Yan and Xiao Yi looked a little hot, and then went down one after the other. The two of them won't take more than the 3 treasures that were promised. After all, it is still somewhat difficult to deceive this blue-haired Buddha lion. Squeak! Being acted like this by the blue-haired Buddha lion, the ancient palace below, which had been covered in dust for many times, slightly burst into a crack, and an old breath emerged along with the sound of Zen. That kind of Zen sound just sounds, it makes people in a trance, the noisy power in the body is quieted. It seems that this kind of voice and power is by no means simple. Squeak! The two came to the ancient palace and looked at the cracks that appeared slightly. After looking at each other, Xiao Yan stretched out his hand, and the power of reincarnation emerged and spread gently. Following Xiao Yan's actions, the ancient stone gate of the Manjusri temple exuded a very strange green light, and there were faint signs of opening. When the flowers bloom and bear fruit, does the meteorite iron that repaired the ancient ruler still exist? Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL. Continuing from the previous episode 2249. Boom! The stone door of the Manjusri hall opened, and a barbaric force like the ancient times emerged, and the two of them stood outside the door in a daze, and could vaguely see some furnishings in the Manjusri hall. In order to prevent any accident from suddenly entering it, the two did not step into it rashly. They stood at the door and began to look at it, and vaguely saw that the furnishings in the Manjusri temple were extremely well ordered. There is a golden plaque in the center, and the 4 characters of Manjusri Bodhisattva are splendid, surrounded by some Buddha statues, high platforms, pillars, and nothing else, but the center is blocked by a dark thing. Second brother, good stuff. Bodhi beads. It is said that it is the famous magic weapon of Bodhi ancestors, which is designed to break all evil forces. Zen sound wooden fish. Xiaoyi's eyes glowed. Even if she hadn't stepped into the Manjusri hall, she could see a lot of expensive things standing in the hall with only her peripheral vision. With the blessing of Buddhism, the power is a bit more tyrannical than the fairy weapon. Though these things are good, they are not suitable for us, and such precious things, I don't believe they would give them away so freely. Xiao Yan shook his head, stepped out into the Manjusri hall, and then walked towards the high platform in the center of the hall. It seemed that in addition to these things placed on the periphery, there were more precious things in the center of the hall. Because these things are precious, but their placement is disorganized, even Xiao Yan thinks that these things seem to be thrown randomly. The real highlight is the center of Wenshu Temple. Guru, is this the so-called meteorite iron? When the two of them walked to the center of the hall, a blue-black shadow stone blocked their path and sight. After careful identification, Xiao Yan felt that this thing should be the meteorite iron he needed. About 20 meters long and 50 meters high, it looks terrifying, and on top of the meteorite, the dark lines are extremely solid. Even if Xiao Yan used the glazed flame to burn it, it did not move at all. Therefore, Xiao Yan repeatedly confirmed that this is meteorite iron. Is this meteorite iron too big? Xiao Yi looked at this piece of star iron with a bit of astonishment. She couldn't believe it. Don't think about it. Although this meteorite iron is huge, what is really useful is its core. Only by extracting the purest source of this iron can it be possible to cast and repair the magic weapon. It seems that the volume is so huge now, but the volume will be reduced countless times after refining. Xiao Yan explained. He. Seeing that her inner thoughts were broken, Xiao Yi scratched her head immediately. Remove this thing first, and then search for the remaining 2 treasures. It is best to find treasures suitable for the 2 of us. And I suspect that this star iron should not appear here for no reason. I'm afraid there are better ones in the future. Baby is covered by it. Xiao Yan looked around. His soul power couldn't penetrate this star iron, and he couldn't go past this thing towards the back. Okay, wait, it's not quite right. This piece of meteorite iron seems to be absorbing the power in my body? Accurately speaking, is it absorbing the power of the brown holy flame in my body? Xiao Yi just came to the meteorite iron, raised her hands to fit it, and suddenly said in surprise, it seems that the closer she is to this iron stone, the more terrifying the suction released from it. The most peculiar thing is that you can't resist this strange absorption. Can only let this iron stone suck? If things go on like this, even the strength of one's own reincarnation will be completely absorbed by this meteorite iron. Burning judgment. Xiao Yan looked at Xiao Yi's astonished expression. The burning art in his body started to run, and the terrifying power of the color of glass emerged, but when he just touched the iron stone, it suddenly disappeared, and was also absorbed and swallowed by the latter. Destroyed? Master Lycan didn't specifically say the effect of this iron stone. It seems that it is also a test for us. Xiao Yan nodded, then quickly pondered some questions in his heart. Try other powers. Wood property. After thinking about it, circles of dense wood attribute power surged out from Xiao Yan's arm and body, and then wrapped the ironstone inside and out. Fine? Seeing this scene, Xiao Yi secretly clicked her tongue. Crack! Xiao Yan exerted all his strength, but was unable to move the slightest bit. In the end, he had no choice but to use all the powers such as Long Hua. He was struggling to twist the position of the ironstone, but Xiao Yan didn't notice that he was able to move the ironstone. The main reason turned out to be the help from the Buddhist realm from the demon realm. Second brother, here. Without the obstruction of the meteorite iron, the rear is the real face of the center of the hall, but Xiao Yi just looked up, and the slightly raised platform seemed to have something fatally attractive, and a touch of surprise filled his eyes. There is a touch of incredible expression and a touch of extremely fiery fluctuations in the eyes. What catches the eye is a scene of a high and uplifted round platform. Buddhist scriptures are scattered all over the round platform, which is sacred and solemn. The statues of arhats are scattered around, forming an extremely mysterious formation. Counting carefully, there are actually 18 figures of these arhat Buddha statues. Looking up, Xiao Yan and the two were as small as ants. The extremely tyrannical pressure and the majestic Zen sound emanating from the round platform made the two of them tremble. On the round platform surrounded by 18 Buddha statues of arhat, a tree carved out of golden material is 10 meters tall, and beside the golden tree, there are two statues of Buddha sitting quietly. The image is very recognizable. Manjushri? Patriarch Bodhi? Xiao Yan was surprised and stopped Xiao Yi, but did not step onto the circular Buddhist altar rashly. From the two of them, he could smell an extremely frightening chill. Second brother, that golden tree seems to be related to the holy tree that has been rumored in the Buddhist world. Bodhi. An ancient tree? Xiao Yi's pupils shrank slightly, and then she spoke in disbelief. The ancient Bodhi tree, this is the symbol of Bodhi ancestors, the eminent monks in the Buddhist world, but now it actually appears here? Is there any relationship between Manjushri Bodhisattva and Bodhi Patriarch? But the strength of these two is definitely not something they can resist now. Is it possible that they gave up like this? Countless questions plagued Xiao Yi. The ancient Bodhi tree. Why is there a green and lush energy on this ancient tree? When Xiao Yi said this, Xiao Yan focused his attention on the ancient Bodhi tree. After a while, the majestic soul power swept out like a spring, and probed towards the ancient Bodhi tree. Crack! Even with the current level of soul power of Xiao Yan, when approaching the ancient Bodhi tree, a trace of black smoke spread out without warning, and the soul power released by Xiao Yan was instantly annihilated. Second brother? Xiao Yi's eyes narrowed slightly, she gritted her teeth viciously, and then stepped around in front of Xiao Yan. Good guy, it's actually the bed of the earth. At this moment, Xiao Yan's expression was ecstatic, his eyes fixed on the golden ancient tree in front of him. Above the ancient Bodhi tree, a looming green shawl slowly emerged, with countless life runes engraved on it. Under this power, everything seemed to be silent. And this kind of power fluctuation is not the bed of the earth that you are looking for. What is it? Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version update fastest URL.